Hey there, flippers, and welcome back to Second Life Treasures. So on today's video, we are going to be doing our weekly update video. And yeah, in today's video, we are going to be diving into some of the, or basically talking about the new policies that eBay have just released, some of my opinions and some of the updates that we've seen come out over the last couple of days as well. But before we get into that, let's quickly run through our totals for the week. So last week we had a total of 28 sales. Total revenue was £858.87. That landed us a total profit of £492.14, and we had an average ROI of 1,320%. So yeah, really happy with how last week went. We had some absolutely cracking sales. And I will admit, our profit margins for this week have been right up there. So really happy with that. And actually, we've had some really interesting items sell this week. So we'll get to that a bit later in the video. But first off, what we're going to do is we're going to dive in and have a look at our number 10 sale for the week. So let me just switch over. And that is going to be a set of BMW 6 Series black kidney grills. So these are basically the grills that sit on the front of a BMW 6 Series. And these are brand new. The reason that these are sort of the reason that these are about is because some people, especially if they've got a black BMW, they like to get rid of the normal silver grills and replace them with black. These are basically an aftermarket accessory for a BMW. And these, I actually got given these by Nikki. We got given them about 6 months ago. And yeah, just all of a sudden out of the blue, they sold last week. So they actually sold on the 3rd of October. They sold for $24.99. We've got nothing into them, because as I say, we were given them by Nikki. And we've made a total profit of £14.91. So yeah, a really good sale there, especially for something that was... yeah, it was a freebie that we were given. And yeah, happy to turn a bit of a profit on that. Then our number 9 sale. And this actually this was a boot fair find. And once again, I can't remember if this boot fair video has gone out yet. But if it hasn't, it will either be this week or next week's video. But yeah, this is the Garmin Vistro Smart 3 activity tracker. So this sold on the 30th of September. This was one of the last sales, or sold on the last day of the month, because we actually had quite a few sales go out on the 30th of September last week. So we originally paid £3.50 for this. It sold for £28.99 for a total profit of £15.14. And that landed us a total ROI of 433%. So yeah, really happy with that. And yeah, a nice couple of sales to start us off with this week. So before we get into our discussion around the new changes that have been made at eBay, just wanted to give you a quick update as to sort of why there wasn't any videos last weekend. Now, I had all intentions of getting the Saturday boot fair video out, but it just happened that I felt I was really ill on the Friday and the Saturday, so I just wasn't able to get the video edited in time to sort of get it uploaded. And then I sort of forced myself basically to sort of pull myself together on the Sunday so that we could actually get out to the last Sunday boot fair of the year. And I definitely think sort of someone was against me that day, because as I was driving there, the car just basically lost all power. So I ended up basically getting it into a side road. And basically what happened was the clutch had gone. So yeah, that was great. I waited about 5.5 hours for the AA to come out and relay me home. Managed to get it fixed during the week at yeah, a £600 it cost me to get it fixed, which was not ideal at the moment. But yeah, it's all fixed, and I did actually get out to the boot fairs this weekend just gone. We actually went out to the Swanley Boot Fair. I have to say it wasn't a very good trip. I ended up making like 3 pickups. So yeah, that will be merged into a future video on the channel. But yeah, it was just torrid. And then, yeah, because I was then because I was in the car on the Sunday, it was freezing cold. Like I was having to sort of turn the car on like every half an hour just to get the heat blowing. And yeah, then come Monday, I was just dead on my feet. So yeah, wasn't able to get the update video out last week. But yeah, we are back to normal now. Obviously, we had a boot fair video on Saturday just gone. And then we are back today with the update. So yeah, that is why there wasn't an update video or a boot fair video last weekend. And yeah, sort of hopefully everything's back to normal now and we can push forwards as normal. So let's transition over and we'll quickly go through sales 7, 8 and 7 before we switch over to the eBay discussion. So our number 7 sale, our number 8 sale for the week was the Casio G-Shock. Now this was one of the watches that I picked up in a bundle of watches. I think the video was probably about 4 to 6 weeks ago, something like that. In one of the bundles, I actually had an Apple Watch. So that was it. I know that was in a previous updates video. So yeah, this was actually in the same bundle as well. So I actually paid £10 for that whole bag. It works out that I've basically got £1 attributed to this watch. Because what I actually did was I took the Apple Watch out. I took out another 3 or 4. I took another 4 watches out that I could sell sort of separately, and then all the other watches I just put on as a job lot. And they all just sold them on an auction. I think they sold quite well. I think they went for about £25. So I'm massively in the profit with this set of watches. So as you see, this one sold for £24.99. As I say, it's got a £1 cost price on it. So that netted us a total profit of £15.94 for an ROI of 1,594. So yeah, I would admit I am picking up quite a lot of watches at the moment, whether it be from the auctions or from sort of boot fairs when I'm seeing them. But yeah, I've been finding that I've been doing quite well with them. So yeah, if they're bringing in money, then we will end up picking them up. So our number 7 sale is going to be another watch type item, and this is the Garmin VeroFit the Garmin VeroFit 4 smartwatch. There we go. So this was actually bought with the other Garmin activity tracker. And yeah, I got them both for £7. So I've got attributed £3.50 for this as a cost price. It sold for £29.99 on the 30th of September. That netted us a total profit of £16.88 for a total ROI of 482%. So yeah, some really, really good sales there. I don't think we've got any more watches for the rest of the video. Okay, so moving on to the big discussion that is going around at the moment with regards to eBay, and this is all about their recent policy changes. So let me switch over to the current the current page on eBay with regards to selling. So as you can see there, eBay have now changed their policy where it is now completely free to sell. But there is a caveat there. This is only offered to private sellers. And as you see there, just down the bottom there, it also says this excludes, it says here, excludes motors and business sellers. So yeah, this is something that's only open to private sellers at the moment. And we'll get into how this all works and how this is going to affect people in a little while. But the big question that some people have been having is why is eBay doing this? And it's one simple thing. It is to try and quash the competition. So websites like Vinted have come along, and they have basically allowed people to sell on the site with no fees, no nothing, literally. It's free to list, free to sell, regardless of who you are. eBay were quite clever with how they announced this. They literally announced it, and I think it was announced the day before Vinted Pro come out. Now, I will be honest, I have not looked into Vinted Pro at all, just purely because I have tried selling on Vinted for the last sort of 3 months, and I have had zero success on it. So I'm actually at the point where I'm probably going to end up shutting down my Vinted store, just because it's just a waste of time for me. So I've not looked into Vinted Pro. As far as from what I've heard, it's a paid for service that Vinted are offering. So I think it's £30 a month. It's more aimed at business sellers, but they will also pass on information. So, for example, they will pass on tax information to Inland Revenue and things like that. But I don't know the ins and outs. As I say, I've not looked into it. This is purely what I've been getting, sort of like second-hand information from some other resellers that I've been speaking to. So yeah, eBay have done this, and they announced it when they did, basically to try and sort of combat some of these other websites that are popping up. I'll be honest, I've got no real feeling about this either way. It doesn't affect me, but yeah, I can see why a lot of people are getting sort of concerned or sort of kicking off about it. And as I say, we'll get into that in a bit more, a bit later on. But a lot of people I've also been speaking to is well, is it completely free? And yes and no, once again. So what we'll do is we'll switch over to the fees for private sellers page. So as you can see here, they've made an amendment. It basically says free selling for UK-based private sellers. It is now free for UK private sellers to sell on eBay, excluding motors, cars, motorcycles, and vehicle listings. You won't pay a final value fee for or regulatory operating fees when your item sells. Fees will apply if you list more than 300 items in a month. If you add optional upgrades to your listings, or if you deliver an overseas address. So breaking that down, even that is still a bit convoluted as to sort of how it works. So basically, if you are a private seller, you will not pay any final value fees ever. Regardless of how many items you list, how many items you sell, you will not pay a final value fee. When they're talking about fees will apply if you list more than 300 items. This is where we sort of scroll down. So your listing fees. Private sellers get an allocation of 300 free listings each month. Or 400 listings each month if you have an eBay's shop subscription, which from my experience isn't right, but they might have changed it. But I'm just going to operate on sort of what I know. So up until the 1st of September, as a private seller, you used to get 1,000 listings free a month. And that was just the insertion fees. You still had to pay the final value fees. Obviously, now they're giving the no final value fees. They're now reduced the amount of free listings you get a month. So now you only get 300 free listings. And if you list more than 300, so if you list 301 items a month, you will get the first 300 free. And then that last listing, you'll pay an insertion fee of 35p. And then that will be for every listing above 300 listings. What I do highlight here is obviously relists and renewal. Whenever your existing listings are automatically renewed, so that is after the 30-day periods, your listings will automatically renew on eBay. Or they're relisted. So if you end and click on relist, you won't then be charged a listing fee again. But if you end the listing and then sell similar, no, sorry, wait there. Sorry, yes, right, no. So you won't be charged if it's automatically done. So this is where we need to be careful, because obviously, yeah, if it's automatically done, so eBay will basically end your listing after 30 days and then relist it, or they'll sort of renew it, that sort of thing. You won't be charged. But if you manually choose to sort of like go into your eBay sellers, click on end listing, and then click on either relist or sell similar, you will pay a listing fee. But once again, that will only be for items above your 300 listings. You will still not be charged a final value fee. And then multi-quantity listings. So if you've got, so for example, 10 PS4s that you're selling, and you put them all into one listing, you'll only be charged one listing fee. So yeah, there's that. The other things that you will still be charged for is reserve prices, subtitles, all the extras that they normally put on. But as well, you'll also still be charged for international orders. So if you want your listings to be visible internationally, there's still 30p for that. And then you'll also be charged a 3% fee if that item sells to an overseas buyer. So yeah, those are just a couple of things to be aware of. So yeah, it is for the most part completely free. And yeah, as I say, from my perspective, it is a good idea, and yeah, definitely something that I think a lot of people will get some benefit from. Okay, so switching back over to the sales for last week. Our number 6 sale is the Oliver portable typewriter. So this was actually a auction pickup. So you'll see this in a future video. This sold on the 1st of October. Our purchase price on this was £7.50p. It sold for £51.50p for a total profit of £25.14p. And the way that's broken down, obviously, you've got the £7.50, you've got £6.59 for shipping. And then I think the box that this went out in goes for, I think I pick them up for £1.62 each. So yeah, quite heavy, and obviously we've then got our fees as well. So yeah, £25.14p for that, for a total ROI of 335%. And then our number 5 sale is going to be the Dancing Christmas Tigger. So this was a boot fair pickup. This actually picked up from Lazy Bones. I'm pretty sure the video has gone out for this. And yeah, as soon as I saw it at the boot fair, I knew it'd be worth picking up. So yeah, this actually sold on the 5th of October. We picked it up for £2. Total sale price was £46.50p. As you'll see there on the screen as well, it also went through the global shipping program. So we made a total profit of that of £26.68p. for a total ROI of 1,334%. Okay, so now we are going to look into sort of how these recent changes are going to affect everyone. So there's probably quite a few people out there that are saying that I'm registered as a private seller. How is this going to affect me? Well, the big question I've also been getting is, how does eBay know that I should be a business seller? And I'll be honest, there is no information that's been given out for this. But what you've also got to remember is eBay have got so much data on all of us right at their fingertips. And yeah, there's been a lot of speculation as to sort of what metrics eBay is using. I've heard people that are saying that it's the amount of listings, or the people's revenue and income and everything like that. I will be honest, I don't think it is any of that. I think it's going to be on how much you're using the site. So how much you're listing, sort of how often you're listing. Sort of, are you listing sort of one item sort of every couple of months, or like 1 or 2 items a month, something like that? Or are you listing sort of 5 items a week regularly? Are you regularly listing 5 items a week? Are you regularly listing sort of 10 items a week? I don't think there's going to be any I don't think there's necessarily going to be a threshold that, right, once you've listed 100 items, that's it, we want you to be a business seller. I don't think it's that at all. I think eBay is looking at frequency, and that is basically how they're going to sort of flag it up. Is there going to be ways around it? Yeah, I'll quite imagine that there is. And actually, one of the resellers that I've been talking to is quite inconsistent with their listing. I'm not going to name them, but yeah, one of the resellers I was actually talking to at the boot fair yesterday, they've said, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, I'm listed as a private seller, but I know, sort of speaking to them in the past, that they've admitted to me that they're inconsistent with their listings, and potentially, yeah, they might get away with it for however long. I don't know, but I think eBay we already know that eBay are clamping down on it, and yeah, I'll get into that in a bit more. So, what is my opinion on sort of the different types of people that are currently registered as a private seller? So, I've broke this down into sort of 3 different categories. And sorry, not necessarily my opinion, but what I think eBay's opinion is. So I've split this out into 3 different categories. So the first one is that you are registered as a private seller, but or registered as a private account, and you only buy on eBay. You're totally fine. You don't need a business account to just buy. Even if you are a business, but you're only buying off eBay, you don't need to worry about this. This isn't affecting you. Go have a cup of tea, put your feet up, and really relax. And then the other people that I also think don't need to necessarily worry about this is going back to what I was saying a minute ago. And these are the sellers that are only listing every now and then. So they might list sort of 1 or 2 items a month, or even more, even less than that. I don't know what the threshold is going to be, but they're listing infrequently, and they're more just clearing space. I think for those, you're fine, and I will caveat that unless eBay reach out to you. So, yeah, with regards to that, I wouldn't worry as well. If you're sort of an infrequent seller, you're not going to be pushed to be a business. The people that I think will be massively affected with this are the actual resellers. And I'll be honest, I have spoken to a lot of the resellers that I know, and a lot of them have actually admitted to having private eBay accounts. So, yeah, I think for them, this is definitely going to apply. And I will be surprised if some of them haven't already had notifications from eBay. So first off, if you are falling into the criteria that eBay defines that you are a business, first off, you will get a message. And I've got a couple of screenshots here. So I just want to say thanks to Nick and Andrea Hills they put out a video on their channel, and actually included some of these screenshots. So yeah, thanks to them for putting these out, because as I say, everyone around me hasn't had any of the information yet. So what I'll do is I will pop it up on the screen. So first off, in the message, it basically says that eBay are taking more steps to address false private sellers. And basically the message says, at eBay, we are dedicated to ensuring a fair and equitable marketplace for all business sellers. To achieve this, we monitor trading activities. I think that is the key word, the key bit for me, where it says trading activities. It's not talking about trading amounts. It's not talking about listing amounts or anything like that. It is your trading activity on eBay. So, like, how much are you listing? How much are you making? How often are you listing? How much are you listing? And everything like that. It's going to be an all-encompassing bubble. And all these metrics are going to be taken into account when assessing whether someone is a business seller or not. going on, it says, and we continue to help business sellers using private accounts to transition to a business account, or they will restrict selling activity as necessary. In addition, we've reduced the number of free listings available to private sellers. So as I said earlier on, up until this new policy come in, you used, as a private seller, you used to get 1,000 free listings a month, whereas now they've reduced that down to 300, and then after that you'll be paying. Over the next 3 months, we'll be ramping up our marketing initiatives to highlight the benefits of using eBay for both sellers and buyers, and showcasing what makes it such a unique marketplace. Our goal is to continuously attract new customers and ensure they receive exceptional service. So once again, this paragraph here goes into why they brought this policy out. So they're going to be increasing marketing to highlight the fact that they're now offering free listings for private sellers. And yeah, as they say, they want to continuously attract new business, which sort of translated into business speak, we want to steal the customers that are going to other sites like Vinted, Depop, and all of those other sites and bring them back into the eBay fold. That is basically the non-business speak for what this whole purpose is about. Then the messages also go on and basically just reiterates to of what they're doing. So we regularly review the eBay trading activity of our top sellers. We want to let you know that you need to upgrade your account from a private account to a business account. Upgrading your account is simple and should only take a few minutes. So this person has received this email. I think from what I remember, Nick was saying that this is something that one of his viewers sent in. So yeah, this is Nick. Nick is a business seller. He has been a business seller since they started. So this, just like me, he's getting this sort of second hand, basically. And yeah, basically this has been sent to someone who eBay have deemed are basically selling too much to be a private seller, and they're basically saying you need to upgrade your account. It then goes on to say how to upgrade to a business account. So basically saying you log into the eBay account, or log into your My eBay, click on personal information under the account sections of My eBay, click on edit alongside account type. It'll ask you for your username and password, and then you need to select business account and click submit to upgrade your account. That is it. That is all you need to do. And I can attribute to that because, yeah, that is the process that I had to go through. So yeah, it's very straightforward, very easy. They then also state that you, so basically the rest of the message says that you need to make these changes to your account within the next 21 days. If you don't, your selling privileges may be blocked. This includes listings ended and loss of selling history. So essentially what they're saying is if you don't do this, you won't be allowed to sell on eBay. And we will end all of your current listings and basically delete your account or delete your account history. So, yeah, they're being very strict and very firm with this. It is something that we expected. This is something that we knew that was coming because, obviously, as soon as they announced that they were doing free listings, we knew that they were going to be clamping down on sort of who was getting access to those free listings. Obviously, they know that the sellers are the ones that are bringing in all the money for them. So they weren't going to cut their nose off to spite their face. You'll probably find it's something like a relatively small percentage now. I will be surprised if it's over 20%. I would say I'll be very surprised if it's over 20% of sellers on the eBay platform are genuine private sellers. I think majority of the sellers on eBay now are or what would be categorized as a business seller. So that is obviously resellers, proper businesses, and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's an interesting one. And yeah, as I say, it's been quite divisive. But yeah, we will continue to look into this. And what I'll do is in a minute, we'll go through sort of what it means to switch to a business account. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to dive into our number 4 sale for today. And this is a pair of Ray-Ban bronze rimless sunglasses with the original case. So this was actually a auction pickup from a few weeks ago. I actually won a lot that had 2 pairs of Ray-Bans and a pair of ski sunglasses as well. I think I paid like £12 or £15 for the lot after fees. So yeah, as you see there, this one sold really well. So our cost price on these is £4.17. Total sale price was £50 exactly. That landed us a total profit of £29.71 for a total ROI of 712%. And then our number 3 sale, and this was one that was absolutely brilliant. So this was one that I picked up from last week's auction. And this is a London Fire Brigade's white officer's helmet. So this was from the 1990s. I think it was actually manufactured in 1990 itself. And yeah, there was a lot there that had basically a whole firefighter's uniform. And it piqued my interest when I saw it in the pictures, but once I started doing a bit of research into these helmets, saw that the helmet sold for really, really good money. So yeah, I made sure that I got in on that auction. I ended up winning it for a hammer price of about £35. So it was about 40 odd quid once the sort of fees were added on. And what I actually done was I scheduled this listing to start yesterday at 9 o'clock. So I was out at the boot fairs when it started, and I think within the space of 20 minutes, I had someone send me through an offer of 50 quid. I saw the offer, didn't respond to it at the time, but I was going to counter them anyway. Then about 15 minutes after that, I had another offer sent through of £85. I actually went on and countered them at £95 for that. No, sorry, they counted at £80. They offered £80. I counted at 95. The reason I counted at 95 was I actually thought that I'd listed it for £110, not £100. I only found that out once I got home. So yeah, counted at 95. They then counted again at 90. And I was umming and ahhing about accepting it. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to wait until I get home. And then I'll sort of deal with it when I get home. And then on the way home, got another offer for £80. And at this point, the listing had been live for about 90 minutes. So obviously I was driving, couldn't deal with it at the time. So got home. I think I got my couple of bags out of the car and I just sat down. I got a drink, a couple of bags of crisps, and just was sitting down, just chilling out for 5 minutes. And while I was doing that, I got the ka-ching on my phone, had a look, and the helmet sold for full asking price. So yeah, this sold literally. Don't see, hasn't got a time on here, but yeah, it was literally at most 2.5 hours after it went live that it sold. So yeah, it was really, really impressed with this. So the total sale price on this was £106.50. Our total cost price attributed to this is £8.75, and that netted us a total profit of £68.97 for a total ROI of 788%. So yeah, absolutely over the moon with this. This was, I just couldn't believe how much interest and activity this had so quickly. But yeah, really, really happy it sold as quickly as it did. And yeah, a really good profit on that. Okay, so for this final part of the video, I wanted to go into sort of what it means to actually be a business seller on eBay. So to let you know, I have, so I've had Second Life Treasures registered as a business seller for about 3.5 years now. About 6 months after I started, I actually switched it over to a business account. And I'll be honest, the reason that I did that was at the time, if you wanted a store, you had to be registered as a business seller. But from reading the eBay sort of website today, I don't think that's the case anymore. I don't know. As I say, I don't know anyone that's a private seller that has got a store. But yeah, it's for me, it was as easy as anything. So some of the I've had sort of quite a few people asking me questions about this over the last couple of days. So the main question I've got is, what do you need to be a business seller? And for me, it was literally one thing: a name. And that was it. That was literally all I needed, was basically just had to have a name. But what we'll do is we will switch over to the eBay website, and we'll actually see what they say about registering as a seller. So you'll see here, it says, if you're thinking about selling on eBay, you can choose to register as a personal account or a business account. If you register as a business seller, company, limited, unlimited, limited partner, and limited liability partner, select create a business account on the eBay registration page. We'll ask you for additional details like your business name, business type, address, as well as any beneficiary owners, officers, directors, account managers, blah, 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 blah. Make sure that your bank account matches your eBay account type. For example, if you have a business bank account, make sure you register as a business seller. I will go into that in a bit more detail in a minute. But what it says here also gives you information on changing your account from a personal to a business account. And this one goes into a bit more detail than what was in the eBay messages that we saw earlier on. So if you're already registered as a personal account but would like to upgrade to a business account, here's how. So you go to your account settings in My eBay, just like it says there. It said on the email. Select personal information and select edit next to account type. You may be asked to sign in. And then you select confirm to upgrade to a business account. And then this is the crucial part. This is where you'll be asked to specify your business, your business type. Now, when they ask sort of what your business type is, it goes back to what they were saying up here. So there, in the UK, there are a whole range of different business types. So you've got a limited company, a limited partnership, and a limited liability partnership. I will be honest, I don't know much about these, but I do know what a limited company is because I've held limited companies in the past. And basically that is something that's registered with Company House. I actually think these are registered with Company House as well, but I'm only going to speak on a limited company because that's what I know. So this is registered with Company's House. You basically submit your accounts to Company House anymore. They are publicly available. So any company that you want. So say, for example, eBay UK. I'm pretty sure that's registered as a UK business. You will be able to go on and look at their account filings for the previous, I think it's 5 years they let you view. It also gives you all of the company information, company formation, documentation, everything like that. It's all publicly accessible if you're a limited company. But for majority of people, you're not going to be registered as a limited company. You are going to be what's known as a sole trader. So anyone can basically say they're a sole trader. I'm registered as a sole trader on eBay, so I don't have a limited company. I just operate under the name Second Life Treasures. And so when you get to that point and it's asking, your business legal entity or sole proprietor. So sole proprietor is the same as a sole trader. And I will be honest, I think 99% of you watching my videos are going to be sole traders / sole proprietors. So all you do is just select sole trader or sole proprietor, however eBay specifies it, click continue, and then on the next page you'll be asked to enter your business name. So for me it was Second Life Treasures, contact information, and then returns policy. Now this is where it also gets very, very important. As a business seller, you have to offer returns. You cannot sell on eBay with no returns. And the reason for that is as a business seller, you are tied to a law. Well, it's a regulation, but for this purpose, we'll say that it's something you've got to follow, and it's called the distance selling regulations. And basically, what that means is that any person that buys something online can return that item within 14 days for whatever reason. So they can turn around and say, I bought this PS4, it's not the right black. Now, even though there's only one black type of PS4, it's not the black that I wanted. Or anything really. Do you know what? I bought it on a Tuesday. I don't like buying things on a Tuesday. It can literally be anything, and you have to accept it. But the caveat to that is if in that instance, if you set up your listing correctly and your returns policy correctly, you don't have to offer, when I say correctly, that is if you don't want to front the costs for a return, you can charge for a return. Obviously, when you're setting up your returns policies, so when I say about setting it up correctly, you need to specify that buyer pays return shipping. Now, when you specify that buyer pays return shipping, that is only in the instance where it falls outside of eBay's buyer protection scheme. So, and this is where the abuse of the return systems comes into play. So, if, for example, you've received your PS4, you didn't like, it wasn't the right black for you, and you decided to open up a return and specify that it's not as described. Now, that is a fraudulent return in eBay's eyes. So, obviously, as a seller, you have to accept that return and you have to front the costs for that return postage. But what I then do is, as soon as the item's returned back to me, I will then I will report that buyer for misuse of the return system. And I'll tell you what we'll do is I'll make a note and we'll go through that in next week's video. And yeah, so as a business seller, you have to offer returns. You cannot do no returns listings. That is only something that's offered to private sellers. So yeah, that's something you will have to factor in. That's probably going to be the biggest change going from a private to a business account. But other than that, I will say there's not really much else that's changing. And the other thing here, so you'll see here, you've got a little note down the bottom here. Please be aware that once you've upgraded your personal account to a business account, it will not be possible to revert back to a personal account. So that is the other thing as well. So if you've got, if you're selling through eBay as Joe Blogs, and you decide to set up Joe Blogs resale, you will never be able to switch your account back to a personal account and it just be Joe Blogs. You will need to basically set up a new personal account in that instance. Obviously, what I will say is if you then, so if you you've moved over to Joe Blogs resale, you've then gone in and you've set up another Joe Blogs account. If you then try and start selling on that account, eBay will put a restriction on your account. And once again, I will tell you this from experience. And I'll go into why in a minute, but eBay will monitor what you're doing. They will look at things like email accounts, telephone numbers, the addresses registered on accounts. And if things match up, they will flag the account for a human review. And what that will mean is you will basically have to explain to eBay why you've got a second seller account, what you need that second seller account for, and yeah, there'll be a whole sort of review process as to sort of why you need that second account. And yeah, the reason that I know that this will happen is the first year that I had the channel, For those of you that have been with me for a while, you might remember this, but I started a new series on the channel that was basically building a resale business from scratch. And for that, I actually set up a secondary eBay account. And literally within an hour of setting it up, it got flagged. It got suspended. I then had to go through a whole process with eBay. And they basically said to me, well, why do you need this second account? You've got Second Life Treasures. Why are you setting up this second account? And I was quite open and honest with them. I said, I actually do YouTube videos on reselling. And I'm actually doing a series about building a resale business from nothing. And I want this account to be completely isolated from my other account. And they did approve it, and I think that account is still live. But yeah, it is not something that eBay will allow without good reason. Yeah, just be aware that if you do set up another account after switching your account over, and then try and sell on that account, you will get flagged. 100% you'll get flagged. So yeah, there was that. Then also I've got a couple of questions as well that I want to sort of bring up. I'm just going to pull this across to my screen so I can see it clearly. So yeah, obviously the first question was around sort of what do you need to be a business seller. Next up, it was going back to one of the phrases that was in that last page. And let me just switch back and then we can talk about it. And where was it? This one. So this paragraph here where it says, make sure that your bank account type matches your eBay account type. So a couple of people have asked me, well, if I'm a business seller, do I then need a business bank account? And I will say no. And the reason I say no is because I am actually using a personal account for my eBay business. Basically, I've set up a secondary account, and yeah, all my funds are sort of paid into and paid out of that one account, purely because I don't earn enough at the moment to be able to finance a business account. So yeah, it's something I will do in the future, but at the moment I just don't have the turnover to basically pay for all of the business account expenses. And then next up, the other question I've got is, do business sellers still get free listings? And this is also a no. So no, they don't get the free listings. They also don't get access to a lot of the offers that private sellers get. So I do get emails through on sort of the different eBay accounts that I've got. I've got one that is specifically for buying, but I've never actually really used it. And then the second one is obviously the eBay account that I set up for the starting the resale business from zero. And so I still get the emails as a private account, and that's you'll get offers like 50 listings for it, no selling fees for 50 listings and things like that. There are different offers that private sellers get. You won't get them as a business seller. You do occasionally get some offers come through, like you might get discounted rates on a certain category. I think I have had a couple of, I think I've had probably one or two promotional offers since switching to a business account, but by no means do you get anywhere near what you would get as a private seller. Also, but what I will say is, going back to what I was saying earlier on, is that business sellers obviously get access to stores. Once again, I don't know if eBay have changed their policy on that. I'm just going by the experience that I've had with eBay. So yeah, as a business seller, you obviously get access to the stores. This is a monthly subscription. And in with that monthly subscription, you get different benefits, and you also get different amounts of listings included. So if we switch back over to, I'm already on that screen. So if we switch over to this tab, this is an overview of the eBay stores. So you've got pay as you sell, and for that you get no fixed price listings, no auctions, and you basically pay 30p for fixed price listings and 30p for auction style listings. If we scroll down, so your final value fees will still be based on the average of sort of 12% that it is now. But you can also then go, there's 3 different levels of store. So the first one you've got is basic, which is £27 a month. So I think, actually, looking at this, I think they have introduced a fourth sort of option with regards to stores, and those stores are only available to private sellers, because on the other parts of the website it says £19.99 a month. So yeah, I think that's what it is. But when you're a business seller, you've got your basic store, which costs £27 a month. That is excluding VAT. So I will say that. Make sure you're aware that that is excluding VAT. So your monthly subscription value works out to be about £105. You get 250 fixed price listings and 100 auction style listings. Then once you go over that amount, you pay 10p per fixed price listing and 15p per auction. But your value starts to come in with all of the extras that you get. So you actually get access to the Sellers Hub regardless of what type of account. The big one, and this was one of the things that made me set up a store, was the promotions. So this allowed you to go in and do like sales, so 50% off sale or whatever. Basically allowed you to run sales. You can promote listings across the board because eBay are getting money for that. You get the storefront, so that's the actual dedicated shop page. Links to the eBay store on your listing. Daily deals eligibility. Once again, I haven't really seen any of this. You don't, obviously for the basic store, you don't get any of the extra bits. You get standard customer service, just as you would if you weren't. And you get no additional countries or categories. But then if you upgrade to the feature store, and this is the one that I've actually been on for at least 2, maybe 3 years now. I think I was only on the basic store for about 6 to 8 months. So yeah, I've been on the feature store for years now. And as I say, it says £77 there is the monthly price. What I actually pay every month is about £92 and something or other. You'll see there the monthly subscription value's gone up a lot as well. So you get 1,500 fixed price listings, 600 7-day auctions. Your fixed price listings then go down quite a bit as well. So you get additional fixed price listings at 5p, and your auctions stay the same at 15p. You get all of the benefits that you get on the basic store, but you start to get additional ones. So you get European Sales Booster. I have no clue what that is. I will admit, I do see a lot of my global shipping orders do tend to go to Europe, so that's probably where that comes in. Comparative pricing via API. So what that is when you are creating your listing, in the part that you select your price, you'll get an additional box that appears that will give you sort of like average selling price for this item is this, average amount with free shipping is this, and just gives you a bit of insight from the listing page as to what to price your item at. Terapeak Sourcing Insights. So this is eBay's, this is basically a search option within eBay. Let me see if I've got my store page open. Yes. So let me get back to a page that I can pull across. 2 seconds. Right. So under, oh, wait there. There we go. So on my sellers page, you'll see here I've got the research option. And if I click in there, So this is the Terapeak. No, I don't need that. I know what I'm doing. And basically what you can do is you can search for items. So if I open up a new tab, and if we search for what can I search for? Yeah, you'll see all that. Look, this is all that I shop for. These games, and more games. Let's go back up. So we'll go for this one. And what I want to do is this is actually really useful. So if I just search for this item, and what I'm looking for is I'm actually looking for a sold listing. And this is a bit of a trick that will allow you to get proper pricing. Brilliant. So the first one here, we have got a best offer accepted. So if I now highlight that, and we go back to this, and I actually paste in the exact title and click on research. So if we go back, you'll see that it is basically a complete inbox version of the game. No sold. Okay, let's scale this back a bit. All right, so here we go. So we've got like average sold price and gives you all information about how they're selling. But what I am looking for, and I can't find it. Where is it? It may be that it's sold the 6th of October, so it sold yesterday. Okay, let's see if we can find this one. Right, I'll tell you what, it normally works. I don't know why. So this one's sold, so we're looking for Mr. Nuts, Super Nintendo, SNES game, UK PAL, car only. Mr. Nuts, Super Nintendo game, UK PAL, car only, very good condition. So here we go. So this is the one that's just sold. So this was listed for $11.99 with free shipping. And we can see here that they accepted an offer for £10. So it is actually really, really useful. If you see an item that's sold under offer, obviously you can't tell what it's sold for, but if you use this Terapeak product research, and this will show you what under offer items sold for. So from that respect, it's actually really good, especially if you've got something that is rare, that you don't that might only have had sort of 2 sales or something, and one sold for £20, one sold under offer, but it was originally listed for £100. Using this part of the website will actually allow you to work out what, be able to find out what it sold for. Obviously, it isn't smack bang up to date because, as I say, that first one that we searched for didn't come up. So, and that only sold yesterday or Sunday from when you're seeing this. So yeah, that is actually quite a useful application. You'll see here actually it does come with the basic, but I don't think I covered it there. Then going on, you get standard eBay customer service. The next one, and this actually, I make sure I use this all the time, and this is the eBay packing voucher. So you get £10 worth of vouchers a month. Now, this is something that, and let me just pull this across because I will pull it up. eBay offer packaging materials, and these are all sort of eBay branded boxes and things like that. I'm just trying to bring up their product page because, as I say, I use this voucher every month. And here we go. So you'll see here you can buy boxes, packing tape, padded mailers. Yeah, so I use this all the time. 90% of my packing material is eBay branded. And basically what I do at the moment is I buy one particular shipping item in bulk each month. So I think I buy this one, and I buy a couple of the padded mailers as well. So I think this month I'm going to be ordering a whole bundle of these padded mailers. And basically what it means is that I can, so if we click into here, and I'm hoping that the voucher doesn't come up on screen. Yeah, just making sure that my voucher number doesn't come up. So I can select, so say for example I wanted to buy 25 of these, because I get the £10 voucher at checkout. It will allow me to apply that voucher to the order. So for these 25 boxes I will only end up paying £7.40. And basically that works out, let me just get my calculator up. So £7.40 divided by 25. So those boxes would cost me around, well, 29p, roughly 29 to 30p. I think it's, well, let's round it up to 30p because it's 0.296. So let's say we pay 30p for these boxes. Whereas if I didn't have the voucher and I was paying £17.40, my total cost is going to be 69p, or wait, basically 70p for that same number of boxes. So that £10 voucher can make a massive difference dependent on how you use it. So yeah, that is what I do. And as I say, I do an order once a month and use that voucher to buy a good portion of my boxes. And then the last bit that you get with the feature store is free listings in 13 countries. So yeah, these are, and I don't know if it gives you the list. No, that's probably on another page. Yeah. So yeah, you'll get, I think it will be like most of Europe. I know I get things, I sell things in US. I think it's mostly US and Europe where my sales go out from. So yeah, there's that. And then the last store that you've got is something that I would like at some point, but there's just no way I could do it now. And this is the Anchor store. So this costs £437 a month. So that is excluding VAT. So if we were to include VAT, 437 plus 20%, you are looking at £524.40 a month for the Anchor store. For that, you are getting a £1,173 value. So fixed price listings, you get unlimited. So you can list as much as you want. You still only get, you get a limited amount of auctions. So you get 1,000 listings a month. There's no additional fixed price listing fee, but you still get the 15p auction style listings. Then you get all of the same perks as the other or the lower store value. You also did get an invitation to eBay Concierge. Now, I actually thought that this was just a invite only. I didn't think it was tied to any particular store. So what eBay Concierge is essentially you get a single point of contact at eBay. So if you ever have any problems, instead of phoning up eBay customer support, you go literally through to your dedicated account manager. So you'll see here, if you subscribe to an Anchor store, you'll receive an invitation to eBay Concierge, a free enhanced level of service to selected customers to make selling easier. You get direct access to a dedicated team of experts with minimal wait times and the choice of contact options. Support from top team members empowered to take responsibility for issues and concerns. Tailored support on selling issues. eBay Concierge is subject to the following conditions. The service is only available to sellers with a UK registered address, subject to ongoing seller performance evaluation. So this will probably also tie into being like a top rated seller. Concierge is subject to availability if we have significant increase in demand. It may take up to 14 days for your concierge to activate on your account. So yeah, it is a really good service, and it's a service I would love to have access to. But yeah, it is just for paying over £500 a month. It just isn't viable for me at the moment, and I'm not doing anywhere near that on eBay at the moment with regards to listings. So you also get listed in 13 countries like the other package, but you also get free listings in 2 categories. So when you are looking at items, and if I bring up the no, this is a oh no, it's up here, sorry. So here you'll see that these boxes are listed in shipping and moving boxes, but they might also want to list them in, so here we go, envelopes and mailers, or other packing and shipping. For that, with that subscription, they will be able to do that. They'll be able to list them in more than one category. So yeah, that is a bit of a breakdown on the stores, and I've just looked at the time, and I've been going on for so long on this. So yeah, that is the pros and cons for being a business seller, and massive. I've actually gone into the store, in the eBay stores, in way more detail than I thought I would. So what we'll do is we'll quickly wrap up the video. We'll go through the last couple of sales for the month, and let me just bring that up. So our number 2 sale was the Nintendo 64 Fantastic Fire Orange. This was a console that was included in a big console bundle that I'd done from someone that I know. I haven't actually put a video out on this on the resale channel, but it is going to be a video on my gaming channel in the future. So if you want to catch up with that, head over to Fully Playable Games, subscribe there, and you'll see that video coming up in the future. So for this one, it sold on the 5th of October. The cost value for this was £11.90. It sold for £116.50. Netted us a total profit of £82.60 for a total ROI of 694%. And then our number 1 sale was another auction pickup, and that was the Sony CCD camcorder, or CCD SC55E, blah, 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 camcorder with charger, case, and other accessories. This was, as I say, an auction pickup. It sold on the 30th of September. It had a total cost price of £4.17p, not 417p. It sold for £34.99. Sorry, £134.99. I'll get there in a minute. £134.99 netted us a total profit of £98.39 for a total ROI of 2,359%. So yes, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I'm really sorry about the length. Did not realise that we were going on for that long. But yeah, as I would say, as I sort of said throughout, becoming a business seller isn't a big deal. There are changes that you would need to make. But yeah, it is definitely something that most of us will not see a massive change in. But what I will say is, if you've got any questions, any concerns, or just need me to delve into sort of different areas in a bit more about how this new policy will affect everyone, leave a comment down below and we can review. We can pick it up again in next week's video. And yeah, what I'll do is I'll also cover in a bit more detail the sort of reporting people for misusing the return system. But yeah, I'm going to wrap the video up there because, as I say, we're well over the hour mark now. But I just wanted to say a massive thank you for joining me today. If you did enjoy the video and you did find it useful, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell for more videos just like this. And I will be diving into this a bit more going forward as more information comes out. But yeah, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and yeah, just wanted to say a massive thank you for joining me. Really hope you found it useful. And yeah, with that, I will see you on the next one, and yeah, have a good one. Bye.